go. Mind over matter. Put your mind somewhere else and keep going. That little voice in your head is trying to stop you from getting to where you want to be. Be successful and keep moving forward.
With your host and world-renowned strength and conditioning coach, Phil Daru.
I got Ben here, knees over toes. We are in his private facility, right? So let's go through the origin story first and foremost. Like I've known about you for a long time. I got a lot of my athletes that know about you. Talk about how you got started in doing this and why knees over toes.
Yeah, I was that kid, if you ever had like that fragile friend growing up, always hurt, going through knee surgeries in my teens, never grabbed rim until I was into my 20s. So I didn't have the genetics. I thought I could outwork bad genetics. But I was just so overtrained, destroying my knees. So those key teen years when we have those hormones, things weren't even developing right because I couldn't use my legs very well. I was in so much pain.
Why was that though? Like just injuries or?
Starting jump programs at age 9.
Gotcha.
I started playing travel basketball when I was 8 and I'm terrible.
Yeah.
Like I have to get so much better. I'm less athletic than other kids. So 9, 10, 11, 12, I'm wearing jump soles and training 6 hours a day. So by the time I was 12, like chronic knee pain from 12 to 20.
Did you have those where you put your foot in and the heels are coming out?
I had jump soles and strength shoes.
Oh man. We would walk around town with them things on, man.
That's probably the best thing you could do is actually just walk in them.
Yeah.
I was trying to do the plyometrics in them.
Gotcha. Yeah, those killed me, man.
But there was no foundation of strength.
Sure. Yeah.
So I was trying so hard to jump higher that I basically wore out my knees really early. So that was the origin story, just a broken down dude, no basketball future, no bounce, knee surgeries. Senior year, didn't play a single game. Like I finished high school in a walker. Like I didn't go to any of the senior dances. I couldn't finish. I had to finish out homeschooling because I couldn't even get around.
Wow, it's that bad.
Yeah, and then I saw this quote from Charles Poliquin that said the athlete whose knee can go farthest and strongest over the toes is the most protected. And then he started talking about how the athlete whose knee can bend more. And so up to then I had never let my knees over my toes. And just to make it really simple for people, the moment we started doing that forward sled slowly, that's knees over toes.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like you're already putting yourself into that like late gate stance and getting that anterior translation. What I was telling my boy here was that you're already putting blood into the tissue, right? You're putting blood into the joint. You're allowing it to actually feel the pressure there. We're gaining that range and we're getting strong in those end ranges.
Exactly. So that is, and there's from Joe DeFranco to others, really all the clues were there. From Joe DeFranco with his sled work, he does that heavy forward where it's not, I think that gave a good clue because the idea wasn't to move fast, it was to actually use the sled as a strength exercise. But then Louis Simmons was using certain things for like super high repetition. So you got to do it with me, and I'm trying to actually use a more medium weight on the sled, a gentle weight, but get into those positions, feel the pressure. You said it like
it was tough. It was tough.
But I mean, it's not like it's not like a maximal. It's not like one round maximal. It's more like using it to get that extreme blood flow to the tissues.
Absolutely.
So sled became my savior, forward and backward. Charles Poliquin was using backward sled to get Olympic athletes back into their sport. Like he'd have people who'd come to him, boom, they tore their ACL, the Olympics is in 6 months, stuff like that. And so he would have them doing backward sled every day. So I do backward sled all 5 workouts. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, forward and backward, Tuesday, Thursday, just backward. So backward's the foundation. It keeps that circulation into the knees in a really gentle way. And then from there, using kind of strategic regressions to restore that full range of motion. Those were the 2 big things for me.
Yeah, we did it. We just did a YouTube video, you guys check it out. But I knew for a fact, I didn't know, first of all, we were gonna go like that much. And you said 100 meters is primarily like your sweet spot, right?
Yeah, roughly 100 meter forward and 100 meter backwards. Or just 200 meter backward.
Yeah, that tore me up. I'm not gonna lie. But I kept up okay. He did beat my ass though.
He did amazing.
Yeah, my man, I appreciate it.
Most people tap out and have to take breaks.
No, I can't do that. Not in your gym. I can't do it in your gym, man.
But I knew, I could tell, like, there's no way he was going to tap out.
No. But I could definitely feel the benefit there. And obviously, if I had ACL surgery a year ago and, had some problems trying to do triathlon, and I've been a power sport athlete all my life, did MMA and everything. And I can honestly say that, like, just doing this made it feel tremendously better.
So happy to hear that.
Getting into those deep end ranges and actually feeling comfortable in those deep end ranges. Because usually when I do, and I'm not, and honestly, I think the sled was the game changer.
Yeah.
Because I was able to feel the muscle there, and then when I got in there, it wasn't guarding it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's hard to get circulation really deep. So using that sled, not from a perspective of treating it as a speed exercise, but using it as a blood flow circulation therapeutic exercise. Get as much blood flow as you can, then start to gradually work on the range of motion. I don't know how else I'd do it to that degree. And
you had a knee replacement, or is it a calf?
Yeah, so my left knee, it's like a partially, you can kind of see how it sticks out there. Yeah. It has it's like a partially artificial kneecap in the upper left. And then there's a meniscus transplant and a quad tendon repair. So I kind of have like in the knee, below the knee, and above the knee, like 3 different alterations.
Yeah.
And then my right, I ended up tearing up even worse than the left. Like my right knee was my bad knee. But at that point, I was so depressed. I was already out of high school. I had no college basketball recruitment, so there was no reason to rush to get a surgery. So I kind of, in that like 19 to 20 years old, I basically decided, like, I'm just gonna figure out how to, like, bulletproof my knee.
Gotcha.
But because this one was like loose, when you have like a tear that hasn't been, that like loose feeling.
What was going on in that knee?
There was different diagnosis.
Okay.
It looked like it was partially torn patellar tendon. One diagnosis was torn ACL.
Yeah. Did you get an MRI on it or no?
Yeah, I had.
They couldn't figure out.
No, I was. That's what I was told.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I was like,
talk to those guys.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna try to figure out how to do it naturally.
Yeah. Okay.
So a doctor told me he thinks the ACL like repaired.
Wow.
But I really put in the work and really took an unorthodox approach. But for me, the fact that one knee was surgical, and so it was really stiff. After the surgery, it can be stiff.
Yeah. Definitely.
The other side, feeling like the looseness. And that's why I had to get into some of that like full range of motion split squat, because a regular squat, I could never get it to feel right. But once I started balancing up squat and then that full range of motion split squat, then it started to feel normal.
Did it ever like hurt your back or your hips or anything like that?
I actually started like messing up my back.
Yeah.
I think because my knees were so weak that it's like,
the pressure started compensating.
If you've ever had the shin splints like along like I had those nasty shin splints through there, started getting chronic foot pain. So everything was just like, prior to really figuring out the sled, everything was going to shit.
Damn.
Chronic foot pain, shin splints.
Yeah, it's so crazy how like you get a cascade of different injuries. Like my QL fires up sometimes. I'm doing bilateral back squats, something like that. You can see how it connects all the way up the chain, and it's so severe sometimes that's like I have to stop doing what I'm doing, and that's unfortunate, because at the end of the day we're all athletes, right? We want to compete, we want to be better. When it stops you, it's definitely like it's heartbreaking. I
was pretty depressed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and you were 19, 20 years old, young, real young.
Yeah, and I had no plan B.
Yeah.
Of not being a basketball player.
Yeah, I know that. I know how that goes.
Yeah, but you bring up a good point, which is kind of that, like, say if one foot is really weak, like that can start to mess things up the chain.
Sure.
So we use this term like build from the ground up, because from the moment we're slowly pushing that sled, like you instantly, what was the coaching cue with your foot? With like big toe?
Big toe pressure. Yeah.
All right. So here we are, first time, and already you can turn it off.
All good.
Every Thursday at the exact same time, I take my social media stats.
Nice.
And I totally
I love that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Every
that's
Thursday
how you do
at the
it.
exact same time.
See?
So,
game.
Instantly, you're doing my workout, and you instantly came up with the coaching cue through the big toe.
Yeah.
That's literally the lowest part that you can get. Is the big toe. So I feel like the better those big toes are, the better the feet are, ankles, knees. And being in balance, then less crap happens up the chain.
Sure. Yeah, and you work a lot on like tibialis.
Yeah.
And Foot strength too is important, but talk about the tibialis. Like, where'd you come up with that? Why was that so important?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question, tracing it back. So I think as I started to figure out the sled and some of the knee stuff, it started getting me to where I could dunk a basketball and things like that, but my shin splints would be so bad. Now at the time, I was really obsessed with just the backward sled.
Okay.
And I was doing the full ranges of motion.
Okay.
So my knees got really good.
Yeah.
But then realizing how I had to keep the forward sled in, that really helps get that soleus.
Yeah.
And so I was just exploring. So the forward sled, and then actually like loading, like, so I know, like, all right, how much weight can I do on my tibialis? Now I can go so hard. It's like, now I'm like relatively bulletproof against shin splints. Like I do crazy stuff. That's and cool. I can't get shin splints. But I had nasty shin splints prior to forward sled and tibialis.
That was primarily due to range of motion issues on the ankle too as well?
I think just weakness.
Yeah.
So if you think, all right, I'm coming from a body that can't jump, can't dunk. Now I jack up the vastus medialis and the glutes. Now I can jump. Yeah. But I didn't. But what if I never did any tibialis the whole time? So it's like I have the tibialis of someone of like a less athletic body, and then I'm putting this power. So I had to then kind of like reverse engineer and go, all right, well, my knee pain's going away, but now I'm getting shin splints. So what did I miss?
That's good.
And so I became obsessed with, like, I know exact numbers from tibialis machines to tibialis bars of like what is good strength for an athlete.
That's cool. What's a good strength for like a bar back there?
So on the Watson tibialis trainer, you should be able to put 10% of your body weight on each side. And get like 10 full reps. But
with both legs? Both legs?
Yeah, so 10% on one side, 10% on the other side.
10%, okay.
Yeah, and we can test this out.
Yeah, I want to try that out, yeah.
And then the best alternative to the Watson tibialis trainer is called an iso tib. And that's easier to get a hold of. They make them out of Australia. They ship them pretty fast.
Nice.
And that one also, I find, if you load 10% of your body weight, you should be able to get at least 10 full reps. It's really good.
Gotcha. Do you use the monkey feet, right? Isn't that what it's called?
The monkey foot allows you to put weight on your foot and then get measurable on hip flexor lifting.
Done a lot of those. Yeah.
Prior to COVID, in the gym, we get on the cable machine. We strap up the cable to our feet, and we try to do at least half our body weight, 3 sets of 20.
Wow.
So the best of us are doing...
That's both legs though, right? Same time?
Yeah, the best of us are doing more than that now. So now when COVID hit and people don't have gyms, some of these things came about that I was like, oh wow, with this monkey foot, we can get a dumbbell, hook it on, and then we can still get measurable. So everything I do, I try to have a measurable load. Sure.
Yeah, I got a pair of those. They sent it to me, and I was like, all right, let me play around with some stuff. And I was going into obviously hip flexion and knee flexion too as well. It's just trying to mimic a little bit more of that gait cycle. Yeah. And it definitely hits a lot more than just obviously lying down prone on a leg curl machine for sure.
I think it's an awesome tool.
Yeah, definitely. When you talk about like bulletproofing the knees, right? What are some major key factors that somebody can do? Let's say, for instance, let's just say they have like tendonitis, right? Or just standard joint pain. What are some good things that they could do?
So I think of two primary things when it comes to bulletproofing.
Yeah.
So something like the sled can help someone get out of pain.
Okay.
Then when we did that full range of motion split squat, now we're actually putting full compression and load into the joint. So like when I play a basketball game, I'm never bending my knee like that. I do that to actually internally be bolstered up.
Gotcha.
So then basketball, I'm more quote unquote bulletproof.
Yeah.
On the flip side of it, if you think about a Nordic on the way down, I try to get people where they can actually control the entirety of the range all the way to a straight leg. So if those if those hamstrings and hamstring tendons back here are weak and if your leg can literally be pried out easier, then you're less bulletproof.
Gotcha.
But it's not like I would say like, oh, to get out of knee pain, start doing Nordics. That's more of a bulletproofing concept.
Gotcha.
Same with the full range of motion. So we use the sled for the circulation, start getting out of pain, start getting the tendons to develop, and then we want to get into the full range of motion, and we want to work the eccentric strength all the way to there.
Gotcha. Have you ever done like BFR or anything like that?
Never got into that. It's not that I think it couldn't work well, but you'll kind of notice that the stuff I do is like dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Like, what did we use? Sled, and we used like a rubber doorstop.
For sure, yeah.
That was legit what we did.
I know.
You might think, oh, knees over toe, probably some dynamic axial. Whatever.
Sure,
like,
yeah.
No, like because I stay in my lane.
Yeah.
So someone who is knowledgeable in that, they might be able to get better results.
Well, I was actually thinking about that too, because with the sleds, we can actually do BFR with the sleds, and we can get a lot more benefit there. Not to say you won't get a benefit regardless, but definitely trapping that blood in there is going to be important to get all the nutrients built in. So when you're talking about, like, you didn't do anything for diet though, you just ate healthy, right? There was
I
more
eat
so
fruit, vegetables.
Yeah.
But I don't take any supplements.
Yeah. So why do you? I mean,
I think I can explain it though.
Go ahead.
It's really specific, which is that, let's say there's various of these like these ice baths, and like there's a whole subject of recovery stuff.
Yeah.
Foam rolling, all this stuff. I don't do any of it because if I go out on Sundays and feel amazing and I'm dunking and nothing hurts after, and that's all just from the basic exercises. So I don't do anything for recovery. It makes me really dial in the quality of those exercises. Sure. Therefore, if someone then adds a joint supplement, I don't want to know, what if a joint supplement works really good?
Yeah, true.
Then how do I know how good the sled worked?
Okay.
So I think that's why I've adopted and I've gotten so specific on the exercise quality, because it's like, that's just all I got. All I've got for my body is right here in the gym.
That's all you needed.
All I've got is in the gym right here. And then just eating food. So yes, I choose healthy food, but I don't take any supplements. So there's nothing to like assist how I feel.
Gotcha. I mean, it's good. If you don't need it, there's no real point to doing it. You know,
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people get caught up in that too as well. I have to hit the ice bath. I have to hit the sauna. You know, those things are tools, and they're good to have as an accessory to what you're doing. Just like you have accessories in the weight room.
Yeah.
You know, so if it's something that you absolutely need, or for the most part, a lot of it is mental. So people have this, I hate to say, I don't want to say placebo, but it can be that too as well.
For sure.
In a lot of ways.
And
but
in some
yes,
ways
it does
that
have
could be good. You have an athlete, you put them on a great program, and they have a little placebo from something else.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. But as a coach, my job is like, what can I extract from this stuff?
Sure, yeah. And I love how you like you stay in your lane. You know, so that you're a specialist in what you do.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel the need or want to break out into doing more? Maybe like not just for the knees and not, you know, just for, I guess, the legs in general? More strength and conditioning?
Yeah, I mean, I do full body, but I feel like what I needed as a really fragile person was just to make my body less fragile. And then my sport became much easier. Like, I got my performance benefits from being able to go play without pain.
Yeah.
So I feel like it would have been, I feel like at this point, it would be unethical if I started trying to make plyometric or jump programs, because that could make some quick money, but that isn't what I did. So that's why I'll never go outside my lane, because this is what I did. And so if I do my job really well on these, then a performance coach can plug in the right tool for an athlete. Then everyone wins more. Like, I've never been a confrontational type. I've never been trying to like dominate anything. So like, I'm like a pass first point guard in basketball. Is it like, so that's like, if anything, I'm going to be like too nice.
Sure.
So like, my thing's not like trying to compete or conflict. My thing is like, hey, if I really focus and dedicate on this, then I can provide tools that anyone can use to get even more results.
Yeah. You do put a lot of free stuff out.
Yeah.
Right? And we all do now as content creators, and I feel like that's important because you reach the masses, and you don't want to be, as a coach, you want to teach, you want to provide. What made you go out and really start to put in the effort on your social media accounts? Because now that they blew up. Like, you have TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, now Facebook. We talked about million across every one of them almost, right? Primarily?
Not quite, but like 1.2 Instagram, over 600 TikTok, 575 YouTube, and then I've just started doing Facebook. And probably a lot of people listening to this are coaches. And I really think you can simplify up your social media strategy by focusing on making one good video. Here's my exact process. When I go home today, I'm going to be scripting exactly what I'm going to say, word for word, tomorrow. When I'm done scripting, all right, then that's done. I wake up the next day, and while I walk my dog, I look at the script I wrote the day before. 'Cause sometimes when you sleep on something, you're like, I want to word that a little bit different.
Gotcha.
Then I come in, and I'm only trying to get one video. That video, I'm then going to put on Instagram Reels.
Okay.
Same video on TikTok, same video on YouTube Shorts, same video on Facebook has Reels now.
Yeah.
And it wasn't from any wild imagination. My friend who has 2.5 million YouTube followers, who I became friends with after watching him blow up and studying him, and he said, bro, Facebook started Reels. So it's like, why not?
Yeah.
And so I've gone from 4 to 70,000 followers in, just over a month.
Wow.
Because not many people are doing Facebook Reels yet.
Yeah.
But that makes my life really simple. And then I get to focus. I've just identified what's my role. My role is to educate people on some of these subjects that there's not really much education for. So I just wake up in the morning trying to I try to think like I'm a teacher. I'm an educator. So my videos, I'm never trying to like criticize anyone in a video. I'm never trying to like do the latest like trends. I'm not just like trying to get eyes. I'm trying to make content that I think is going to educate someone. Views is my secondary priority. But when I make content that could help someone, odds are it ends up spreading. I think people share it more.
Yeah. Well, you're authentic. True.
And it makes my life simple.
Yep.
I used to feel like social media was like draining me.
Yeah.
And it felt hard. I felt like every day I was starting over. Like, now I have to come up with something interesting.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
I hated that feeling.
Yeah.
So eventually I went, why don't I just focus on educating people? And so that's what I did. So like I'm so unstressed on social media compared to when I was trying to think of interesting stuff. And now that I'm just thinking about my craft and about who's watching it and trying to educate them, it's like I have like endless ideas.
Yeah. How do you come up with these ideas? Because a lot of the stuff is very simple in a lot of ways. It's highly effective, but it's simple, which everybody can do.
Yeah.
So when it gets that simple, how do you break it down and are able to produce so much content and give value each and every day?
Yeah. So I kind of do the same shit over and over.
Yeah.
But it's not intentional.
Yeah.
So I live my program, I do the workouts. So maybe if there's like 4 or 5 motions a day, like over 5, so maybe you have like 15, 20 motions in a week. And so 15, 20 motions, I'm honestly looking at it and going like, what do I feel like I need to teach from that?
Okay.
So when I go home to script, like I'm looking at my weekly program schedule and I'm going like, you just kind of have a feeling of like, dang, I really need to teach that better. I really need to teach that better. So every day it's pretty easy because what happens, like the video I did today, I did like almost the same video 6 weeks ago, but I figured out a little safer way to do it. So it's like,
Gotcha.
Like usually I'm just shooting the same shit over and over and over, but I'm always trying to teach it a little bit better.
Gotcha.
So like, for example, all right, to me, when you said on the sled, when you said that you're thinking like big toe first, like to me, that's a video.
I'm glad I could give you
Right.
something.
But like I've already done 1 million sled videos.
Sure.
But to me, that's like, so I instantly, when I have an idea like that, I put on my list. I'm like, so for me, it's more, I'm being an educator. It's like, fuck, I need to teach people that. Fuck, I need to teach people that. Fuck, I need, like, it's like, it's not like I'm trying to be interesting. It's like, I'm like, fuck, I need to teach that. So every time I'm figuring out how to make something, teach it a little better, a different coaching cue, a different regression, those are really what I'm making.
So are you, and it could be regressions to the exercise, and it could be cueing that you're talking about primarily.
Anything that I think I need to teach better. So like, honestly, I'm gonna need some of the footage of us, because then next week I'm gonna make a video on the sled of that. And you see, I do try to credit people.
Sure.
Like I'm not like, let me try to quote myself on that.
I know some people that do.
Like Mark Bell is a freaking genius. Yeah. So in powerlifting, you use reverse bands to lift more weight, right?
Yeah.
So then he was like,
method.
bro, I can't get into this knees over toes shit. I need to go reverse band.
Yeah.
So he actually set it up, and you can take, if you have a power rack, you can set the band up that way too, and you can just like get in, like, so the band is like set. So you can do it from a chin-up bar, or from
You did that with Mark? You did that with Mark?
That was his idea.
Yeah.
And so I made video. So now it's like a part of what I do, but the first
we kind of did it here though, with the band here.
That was it.
Yeah.
That's from Mark.
Gotcha.
That's from Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
That's from Mark looking at my stuff and going, I don't feel comfortable getting into that position. But reverse band, rep, all of a sudden it feels amazing, making a breakthrough. So as soon as he came up with that, I was like, well, now I need to shoot videos about that.
Sure.
And I've made like 2 or 3 videos using like his image. So like I got visual of him doing that, so that when I talk about that, like I credit him, throw it into the video. But now it's just like a part of my system.
Yeah. When did you start to like really feel like you were catching your stride in your business in a sense? I know that you blew up, but I've been knowing who you are for quite a long time, but you blew up within the past year.
Yeah, it grew a lot. I mean, I'm not gonna like pretend like I had any special strategy. Like Joe Rogan is a freaking mega influencer.
Yeah.
Like Joe Rogan is the one who accelerated the growth. I've always had steady growth.
And that was, how long ago was that? That wasn't that
so in March of last year, he started talking about it on his and they like pulled up my visuals on the podcast. He'd like message me every now and then. And so then this January, like I think it was like January 1st, he reached out like, you wanna go on the podcast January 18th? So I was like, but no, honestly, I've always had slow and steady growth. I've never found anything that gives me explosive growth compared to Joe Rogan talking about it.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not going to pretend like that's the truth. You want the truth? I like to grow slow and steady.
That's
the Rogan growth. I've never been able to compete with those numbers. And I tracked my stats, and it's like, I've never been able to compete with the Rogan numbers.
Tell me about you tracking your stats. That's interesting. So every day, or is it?
No, so just Thursdays at the exact same time. I note down all my social media stats. That's from now that I've been doing a podcast. So podcast downloads, how many times my articles were read, YouTube new subscribers, Instagram new subscribers, TikTok new subscribers, Facebook new subscribers. So there's like the main 6 that show me like growth of eyes on the product.
Sure.
And I look at those and then I put them on a graph so I can see like which ones are doing better or worse. And it really helps because it helps you identify like, so if I see something doing really well, I'm going to go investigate like, why is this doing well? Like, what am I doing differently that's getting more views? Or if something's being like shut down. So like at one point I noticed my TikTok falling. Everything is going up. TikTok, not budging at all. Like not even one new follower a week. And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So I start really looking into it, and I found out at the time I used to delete 90% of my posts. Oh. What I do is very unusual.
Yeah, why do you delete?
So I used to think if someone goes to my page, I used to think of it like a billboard. So they're going to my page. They're going to have no idea what I'm talking about. So I tried to have I would think like if someone new was going to my page, I tried to have like only like 12 posts at a time. And everything else I would delete. So if someone goes, it's like quickly they figure out, oh, I get it. You got the sled, you got the split squat, you got the tibial. So like within like 12 posts, they're like, all right, I feel what's happening here. Whereas when it's like 100 posts, it's like some people can be like, so I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
But I found out that TikTok penalizes you every time you delete a post.
Oh, that's why.
So my account was being shut, like it wasn't being allowed to grow because I was deleting so many posts. So then I just stopped deleting the posts, and now TikTok, back up.
Gotcha. So you keep like how many posts on Instagram?
No, now I just leave them up because I'm afraid of getting penalized. I can't find if Instagram penalizes you, but I'm a bit worried about it. So I'll only remove things like occasionally from Instagram. I've never seen a negative effect from doing that on Instagram. It was only TikTok that I found that.
I did watch the Rogan podcast, and I saw that you almost strategically put the videos in the front in a sense, right? Am I mistaken on that?
Yeah, I tried to prepare. I thought, how do I prepare for this podcast?
Yeah.
And so what I did is I set up like you have to post it like in inverse order. So if you go to someone's Instagram page, you see their top 6 posts, like at the top. So I tried to, the week leading up, I tried to post in inverse order so that what I was going to talk about, like the whole first 3 posts were about the sled.
Yeah.
Then it was like the split squat.
Yeah.
Then it was like the strength through range of motion. And then it was the accessories. Those were my 6 posts because that's what I do. So that would maximize that if someone new is going to the page, that they're going to like know what I'm talking about.
And you reiterated the fact that you can check it out while you're on the show.
And that probably encouraged a lot more followers because if someone's hearing like, oh, I can just go get a crash course in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's always been my strength is I look at myself as normal, if not below average on most qualities. So what do I have going for me?
Well, you're not below average on what you're doing right now.
I appreciate that. So what I have going for me is I can prepare harder. That's why I script the day before.
Sure.
If I tried to just show up and like shoot video content,
That's hard.
it would suck.
Yeah.
I actually script word for word the day before every single day.
Yeah, I like to be scheduled too. Like 100%. I have like 3 different schedules like laid out. I schedule my team, then I'll have a schedule on a whiteboard in my office, and then one in my garage.
Wow.
So that it's always in my face, and I like it big. I don't know why. I just like it out there. And I have a schedule. I have the habits that I need to hit so that I can hit the goals. Right. So they're in line. And then it's pretty much like, okay, now I can auto-regulate if necessary. It's the same thing when I write a program. Right. I have a skeleton, and then like I know how. Now I have the system in order, so now I don't have to like guess. But if something comes in, and let's say for instance my guys are fighters, so they're gonna come in beat up. One day we may not be doing maximal effort deadlifts or squats. We may have to taper that off. But I have the system in place to go ahead and auto-regulate. Same thing with every day, because everything changes, right?
It's genius having that framework. I'm a huge believer in that.
So
Smart.
what's going on now? What do you have coming up? I know you got the baby. That's the big thing.
Coming up, living my program, making videos, I think the next jump for me is like I have my program and I've had enough time now to figure out like what equipment people struggle with in the program. So knowing that I trust my ability to market so well that I just know that I can like save people money and bring them like exactly what's needed for the program. So like on Amazon this summer, like some of my first things, like super simple, like we were on the Sled, like those are my custom straps I made.
Oh, nice.
Because I really enjoy the bigger belted ones, but they're so expensive and I feel like it's not quite necessary since I'm not doing like 1,000 pounds. And then the ATG Buddies, which is essentially like having the power and versatility of an Olympic weightlifting shoe, but that you can still wear your normal shoes that you like. And not
that's the heel wedge.
Like talk about the simplest products, but they're going to make it easier. People will go to a gym and they'll be like, my gym has a Sled, but there's no good strap. And you notice when you're belted at the waist, something about it hits the legs different. Something about it when you're going backward with the belt at the waist, it trains the knees different.
Well, it's sitting right on your
I love the grip here. And so like, there's no doubt when you're holding, there's no doubt that's awesome. And you get grip benefits. So like, that's awesome. But I just feel like something's different when it's around the waist and you're going backwards. Something's harder.
You don't have to worry about holding anything.
Something's harder. Maybe like you can't maybe it's because you can't use your upper body as much, but so yes, I just started with the 2 simplest products I could. I set myself up really like winnable goals. For sure, you have to. Right? You have to succeed the way you put the strategy together. Generals put the strategy together to win, not to lose. The straps are dope. Oh, thank you. Right, because I'm old school, so I'll go to Lowe's or Home Depot with the toe straps and I tell people that's awesome too. But it's too long though. Some of them are too long. So like I made it shorter. It like locks in there, and then it's an easy transition for the push and the pull. So that's why I liked it, and then obviously the heel wedges are a game changer. So super simple. Travel. Anything else you thinking? Or? Those are the 2 first ones. Super keep it simple. Got to keep it simple. And it's like I'm just gonna win at that and make sure that the quality's good and they're selling right and just one step at a time. What about you? What's next for you? Oh man, I got a lot in the works. You do? I do have a lot. I got a lot going on. Don't want to say too much, but the ones that are definite, we are coming out with the supplement. 2 that's supplements, awesome. Pre and post workout for combat sports. So that'll be out probably. I'd love to try that. I'll definitely send you some. And NFTs, we're getting into NFTs. Holy shit. We're doing that. And I got 2 programs coming out. One with Timberland. Oh my gosh. Program with him, and then the second of my body armor program, which is bodyweight only. Wow. So I'll talk to you a little bit more about that. I think it's great to have programs where you have gym programs and bodyweight programs. Oh, absolutely. Especially nowadays, man. Don't forget the webinar. The free webinar. Oh, yeah. So we have the free webinar. It goes over the mentorship, which is like my coach's mentorship. I'm blessed to be able to coach now over 1,000 coaches from around the world. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And that's what we're talking about with creating the content. We're able to reach the masses. Instead of just working with the people that come to the gym, now I can work with all these individuals from around the world, which is, it's life-changing for me. It gives me a sense of like, obviously accomplishment, but
I have pride in what I do, and that's
feels really good to help people.
100%.
And like we wish we had more of that when we were coming up.
Yeah.
And for me, like mentors made me able to do this.
Yes.
So I do the same thing. Like I have an ATG for coaches.
Nice.
So I keep it simple. I have ATG and ATG for coaches, and I'm in there. I love it. I think that's my favorite part of my day. It's like because these coaches are trying to help other people.
Yep.
So I freaking love it. I allow coaches to visit here. Yeah. I've found that I love working with coaches.
Yeah.
Clients is awesome, but with a coach, then they can go help more people. So that's become like my passion over the last, I'd say, just the last few months, realizing how much I enjoy that.
For sure. I mean, you were very welcoming, hospitable, came to the gym, beat me up on the sled a little bit. I'll keep
I don't
saying
know how welcoming that is.
It's welcoming. I love it. That's why I guess I'm a glutton for pain. I like it, you know. Be on the lookout for the YouTube videos. We're going to do 2. And then obviously, it's going to be awesome. Obviously, with this man, it's definitely going to be great. Let them know where they can find you, and then anything else.
Yeah. Knees over toes guy, I would say you can get a ton of stuff for free. If you like to read, my books are easy to read. They're on Amazon. I have Knee Ability 0, so that's Bodyweight. I think it's great to have something you can just start with no equipment. And then I have ATG for Life. That's kind of like my program, just broken down into a couple gentle workouts per week, so someone can just kind of see how they like it. So I think those are the best places to start.
Perfect, man. We'll put that down in the show notes. Make sure you follow this man. If you're not, you're crazy. See you again next time. Peace.